any other officer acting in the position of the county government. Number 8, on whether the bond had received any resignation letters from Pogi Kamati, who was the driver under the office of the deputy governor, and Patrick Nkonga, who is the personal assistant to the deputy governor. The bond confirmed that they have not received any resignation letters from the two. However, the bond informed the committee that he received a letter from Paul Gikamati's lawyer requesting the bond to do investigations on his alleged resignation. The bond requested for the file, but there was no resignation letter in the file. The bond further wrote to the chief of staff requesting for resignation letter, but they did not get any response. They later wrote a letter to the Department of Legal Affairs to carry out further investigations on the matter. The bond has not received any information about the personal assistants since they appointed him to the position. They are not aware he is not receiving a salary. The board was copied the acknowledgement for the resignation of the driver, Mr. Pogi Kamati, but not for the personal assistant to the deputy governor. The bond is the one mandated to give instructions for any member of staff to put on payroll and also remove. On the case of Pogi Kamati and Patrick Nkonga, they have not instructed the payroll officer to strike them from the payroll. Committee findings and observations. Mr. Speaker, the committee takes the following findings and observations. 1, the office of the deputy governor is constitutional and created to deputize the office of the governor. The committee establishes that the office of the deputy governor is an office within the office of the governor in terms of budgeting. This therefore goes without saying that all activities within the office are supposed to be funded from the governor's office budget. There is no clear distinction on how this budget should be shared between the two offices. Number 2, the deputy governor stated that his office was being underfunded for office operations. He submitted receipts before the committee showing various times he has fueled the official vehicle with his personal resources while on official duty. He further submitted letters written to different county departments and office of the governor, which have never been responded to. This therefore establishes clearly that the office of the deputy governor is underfunded or not being funded at all in terms of daily operations. Number 3, further, the deputy governor submitted that he and 2 officers assigned to his office as a senior driver and personal assistant. He submitted 2 letters showing appointment of one Pogi Kamati and Mr. Patrick Nkonga as the senior driver and personal assistant respectively. He, however, indicated that the 2 were alleged to have resigned from service and struck off payroll. He submitted 2 letters from the office of the governor signed by Chief of Staff, Mr. Harrison Gatobu, acknowledging receipt of their resignations. The committee tried to establish the veracity of the matter and invited the 2 officers to record submissions. The 2 appeared before the committee under oath and submitted that they have never written any resignation letter, and it was there, and if it was there, then it was forgery. 1, Mr. Pogi Kamati submitted that he first became aware of his resignation through social media after he saw the acknowledgement letter of his alleged resignation letter from Chief of Staff being posted. Mr. Nkonga submitted that he came to know of his alleged resignation after he did not receive his monthly salary, and on inquiry from the human resource, he was informed that he had resigned, and the chief of staff had given instructions to strike off the payroll. The payroll manager gave him a copy of the acknowledgement letter, which was written by the chief of staff. The committee further intervened to establish the truth, invited the county public service to give its submissions on the matter. On oath, the bond submitted that they have never received any resignation letter from any of the two officers and have never issued any order to strike them off payroll, being the body that is mandated by law to appoint and dismiss public officers within the county public service. As a matter of fact, the bond stated that as far as they were concerned, the two officers are still in service and there was no resignation letters in their personal files. The bond further provided a list of employees serving in the office of the governor, and the two mentioned officers were appearing in the list as employees serving the office of the deputy governor. Number 4, the committee further sought to record testimony from Chief of Staff Mr. Harrison Gatobu on the acknowledgement of letters on resignation, which he was the author, but he did not honor invitation, nor did he send any correspondence on non-appearance. The committee, acknowledging how critical the submissions of the Chief of Staff were, since he is the person who admitted in writing the receipt of the resignation letters from the two officers, descended to compel him appear before the committee through summons on 12 October 2023. However, the Chief of Staff shunned the summons with only a brief letter from the county secretary indicating the subject in discussion was pending in court. Therefore, they could not engage on the same. The committee, noting the nature of summons, issued required physical appearance on the officer before the committee, where he could then be given the opportunity to raise the sub judice issue. However, having shunned away the summons, the committee resolved to proceed and draw conclusions in the absence of his submissions. This therefore makes the committee conclude that the two officers indeed never resigned from the service and there is no existence of the alleged resignation letters. The committee also observes that the action to acknowledge a non-existent resignation letter and further directing removal of the officers from the payroll is gross misconduct by the Chief of Staff, and there is need for disciplinary action by the relevant authority. Number 5, the committee further observes that the action of the payroll manager to strike off the two officers from the payroll based on acknowledgement letter from Chief of Staff and the absence of any resignation letters from the same officers or authority to do so from the County Public Service Bond, which is legally mandated body to appoint and dismiss the officers in the County Public Service Bond, is initio illegal and void. Therefore, there is need for the bond to act on the issue and issue instructions to reinstate the officers in the payroll, as well as take action to the officers acknowledging non-existent resignation letters and those removing others from the payroll without due procedure being followed. Number 6, based on the illegal removal of the two officers working in the office of the deputy governor from the payroll using acknowledgement letters from the Chief of Staff and the lack of financial funding to facilitate office operations, confirms the submissions from the deputy governor that his office is not being facilitated to enable it to discharge its constitutional mandates. Number 7, the issue of exclusion From the county executive committee meetings, the deputy governor is legally a substantive member of the executive committee and therefore should be invited to attend meetings. He testified that the last meeting he was invited and attended was the meeting on 29th May 2023. He alleged that the county executive committee has sent a number of, has met a number of times without him being invited. To ascertain the veracity of his testimony, the committee invited the county secretary, Mr. Kiambi Adero, who is the secretary to the county executive committee, and the governor, who is the chairperson, to appear before the committee to give their submissions. They, however, did not honor the invitation. The governor sent a correspondence that she was engaged elsewhere on official duty. The county secretary did not send any correspondence to his non-appearance. The committee notifications resolved to summon them to appear on 12th of October. They both never adhered to the summons, and the committee received 2 letters on their non-appearance. The first letter was signed by Chief of Staff, which indicated that the law does not allow the assembly to summon the governor apart from matters, impeachment, or county address. The second letter, signed by the county secretary, indicated that the matter under discussion was pending before the court. Article 195(1) of the Constitution states that the county assembly or any of its committees has power to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. Further, Section 39(2) of the County Government Act 2012 expressly provides the committee of the county assembly may require a member of the executive committee to attend or appear before the committee and answer any question relating to the members' responsibilities. Article 79(2)(a) of the Constitution states that the governor and the deputy governor are members of the county executive committee, which makes them subjects of Section 39(2) of the County Government Act. Act 2012 quoted above. On the second letter, which was indicating that the matter in question was pending before the court of law, the committee opined that the summons required physical appearance of the person before the committee, and instead of writing to the committee, the invitee should have appeared, then lays the matter before the committee for consideration. Based on the above legal provisions, the committee concluded that the invitees were evading appearing before the committee and resolved to proceed without their submissions. The committee proceeded and analyzed the testimony tendered by the deputy governor in the absence of the invitee submissions. The committee noted that the county executive committee meetings were normally communicated through text messages, written notices, and also WhatsApp group, where the county executive committee members were members of the group. The deputy governor testified that since the meeting on 29th May 2023, he has never received any notice on the meeting, nor a text message inviting him to the county executive committee meeting. He also testified that he was removed from the WhatsApp group, hence he could not see intended meetings, and submitted a printout of the WhatsApp group communication showing his removal. He further submitted 2 letters dated 29th August 2023 and 11th September 2023 to the county secretary, inquiring why he was not being invited for the cabinet meeting. The county secretary never responded to these letters. This clearly indicates that the deputy governor was intentionally excluded from the county executive committee meetings, which he is legally a member by virtue of article number 179(2)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya. The committee squarely faults the governor, who is the chairperson and convener of the county executive committee meetings, and the county secretary, who is also secretary to the same committee and responsible for issuance of notices. Number 8, on the issue of verification, the deputy governor submitted that the governor is on record in the mainstream medias uttering demeaning ones towards him, and further adduced evidence in form of printouts from 2 WhatsApp groups where the deputy governor was a member before he was ungraciously removed from those groups. He indicated that the groups were turned into bullying forums, even by his juniors, being cheered on by his boss, the governor. The deputy governor further submitted that, that in a ploy to intimidate and belittle him, he was arbitrarily moved from his office in the headquarters building, which was housing the governor and the deputy governor, and relocated to the annex building. He submitted that the office allocated does not have space for support staff, which, who included personal assistant, security driver, and waiting bay for the visitors, making them operate from the corridors. He also protested the manner which the relocation was done, which led to the loss of items from the office, including cash and laptop. The officers working in the office of the deputy governor, not knowing the office had been located, even reported to the police station, since the office was forcibly broken into and locks changed. The committee, while analyzing the evidence submitted, realized that the governor has been on forefront verifying his deputy and encouraging junior officers, who included the chief of the CECs, the chief of staff, and administrators to verify him. The committee opened the conduct to the amount to gross misconduct, and the governor, knowing that this hand and duty to reprimand and discourage the discourse, but instead she cheered it on. Conclusions. In conclusion, the committee established sufficiently that the governor has, as in person or through the members of staff, ended the under facilitation of the office of the deputy governor to cripple it down to perform its constitutional mandate. This has been supported by the various testimonies and evidence adduced before the committee, including refusal to fuel the official deputy governor vehicle, acknowledgement of the non-existence of resignation letters of the staff serving the deputy governor's office, arbitrary relocation of the office of the deputy governor without consultation to an office without the relevant amenities, castigating of deputy governor in the social media forums, and encouraging the junior staff to verify and castigate him. Encouraging exclusion of the deputy governor from the county executive committee meetings, which he is constitutionally a substantive member, and the failure to honor summons by the committee of the county assembly, which is against provisions of article number 195 of the constitution and section 39(2) of the County Government Act 2012. Article 75 of the constitution states, 1, a state officer shall behave whether in public and official life, in private life, or in association with other persons in a manner that avoids A, any conflict between personal interest and public or official duties, B, compromising any public or official interest in favor of personal interest, or demeaning the office demeaning the office owns. Demeaning the officer the office owns. Number 2, a person who contravenes the clause 1 or Article 76, 77, or 78(2)(a) shall be subject to the applicable disciplinary procedure for the relevant office, and B, may, in accordance with the disciplinary procedure referred to in paragraph A, be dismissed or otherwise removed from office. 3, a person who has been dismissed or otherwise removed from office for contravention of the provisions specified in clauses 2 is disqualified from holding any other office. The committee therefore resolves that the actions and omissions committed by the governor contravenes the provisions of Article 75(1)(c) quoted above, that the governor acted in a manner that he was demeaning the office she owns. The committee, having concluded on this matter, it is therefore the prerogative of the county assembly to invoke provisions of Article 75(2) of the Constitution and any other enabling law as they deem fit. Recommendations. The county treasury, Mr. Speaker, the committee recommends that 1, the county treasury to establish a sub-vote within the vote end of the office of the governor, and in order of all planning documents to ensure the office of the deputy governor is well funded to discharge its constitutional mandate, and in the failure of the county treasury to do so, county assembly be free to establish the first supplementary budget for the year 2023-2024 or 2024/2025 financial year. Number 2, that the Meru County Public Service Board do direct reinstatement of 1, Mr. Patrick Nkonga and Paul Gikamati as personal assistant and senior driver respectively under the period which they have illegally been removed from the payroll, and all paid within a month from this report, within a month from when this report is passed by the assembly. Number 3, that the County Public Service Board is hereby directed to immediately desist from delegating the appointing authority to officers who are not stipulated in Section 86(1) of the County Government Act. Number 4, that the Meru County Public Service Committee commences disciplinary action against the Chief of Staff on issuing acknowledgement letters of non-existent resignation letters pursuant to Section 54(4)(f) of the County Government Act 2012. Number 5, the committee also recommends that the deputy governor should be reinstated to his office at the county headquarters that befits his stature as the duly elected deputy governor of Meru within 7 days after the adoption of this report. The committee notes that the public resources were spent to make the office suitable to host the deputy, to host a deputy governor, so the office should serve its purpose. Number 6, that the county assembly finds the governor, the CEC finance, the county secretary, the chief of staff, and the fleet manager in violation of Article 195 Constitution together with Section 18 and 22. The County Assembly's Privileges Act, and the Assembly may take any action it deems fit against the officers. Acknowledgement. Mr. Speaker, the committee sincerely is grateful to the office of the Speaker and the clerk of the Assembly for the necessary support extended to it in execution of its mandate. The chairperson of the committee takes the opportunity to also thank all the members of the committee for their patience, sacrifice, endurance, commitment to public service. The committee wishes to convey appreciation for services rendered by Secretariat of the committee. Their effort and dedication made the work of the committee and production of this report possible. This is, Mr. Speaker, my submission by the committee. Mr. Speaker, we have the members. Annexure. I want, Mr. Speaker, to also mention the annexures that are in this report, Mr. Speaker, that maybe I might not go through them, but they are all them there for the members to see. First, we have in the annexures, we have letters from His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, to the County Assembly. We also have annexure number 2, which is invitation of the Deputy Governor to appear before the committee. Annexure number 3, request for the Deputy Governor requesting the scheduling of the meeting. Number 4, we have receipts of expenditure incurred by the Deputy Governor in the funding office operations and fueling his official vehicle. Number 5, we have correspondences from the office of the Deputy Governor to the County Secretary. Number 6, we have evidence of verification of the Deputy Governor on WhatsApp group. Number 7, we have invitation letters for the Governor, County Secretary, Chief of Staff, CCM Department of Finance, Economic Planning, CCM Legal Affairs, Public Service Management and Administration, Secretary, County Public Service, Board, Chief Officer Cooperatives, Fleet Manager, Mr. Patrick Nkonga and Mr. Paul Kamati. Number 8, we have an apology letter from Her Excellency the Governor and the CCM Finance and Economic Planning on not being able to attend the meeting. Number 9, we have acknowledgement receipt of resignation letter from Mr. Paul Kamati. 10, we have appointment letter for Mr. Patrick Nkonga. Number 11, we have pay slips of Mr. Patrick Nkonga. Number 12, we have acknowledgement receipts of resignation letter from Mr. Patrick Nkonga. Number 13, we have list of employees working under the office of the Governor from the County Public Service Board. Number 14, we have summons to appear before the committee for the Governor, CCM Department of Finance and Economic Staff, Economic Planning, Chief of Staff, County Secretary and Fleet Manager. Number 15, we have copies of the oaths that they took, Mr. Speaker. And lastly but not least, we have the minutes of the committee that are all annexed in this committee. Mr. Speaker, at this particular point, I think these are the submissions, that's the report of the committee, and I would wish to ask my Vice Chair, One Honorable Kirinya, to second this report with your permission, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kacheri Moduri, for going through that lengthy report. And now, the Vice Chair, Honorable Kirinya, it's your chance to second. Please take the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to second the motion that has been read by my very able chair, Honorable Kacheri Moduri. For the purpose of records, I'm Kirinya Mwenda Benson, specially elected through Devolution Empowerment Party. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this motion. And number 2, Honorable Speaker, before I second, I want to extend gratitude to you and your office for placing this matter before the Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion. It was quite an engaging matter, Honorable Speaker, that we took with honor, and we did the best we could to come up with this report, Honorable Speaker. I would like to second the motion by drawing the attention of the members to the recommendations that the committee did. And these recommendations, Honorable Speaker, are meant, borrowing from a colleague who spoke, Honorable Duranira. He said that this House has mandate to untie the millstone around our necks. And therefore, the work of this committee and the recommendations they did, Honorable Speaker, was to further untie the millstones around the necks of even members who are not part of this House, but working tirelessly for the welfare of Meru County, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, the recommendations, especially recommendation number 5 and 6, Honorable Speaker, is meant to prevent megalomaniacs who rise to power, Honorable Speaker, from further misusing that power and making other people who are working for this county look like they are working under the masses of those megalomaniacs, Honorable Speaker. That is why when you look at recommendation number 5, we have categorically, the committee has categorically recommended that the deputy governor be reinstated to the office that, Honorable Speaker, was designed to befit.
Honorable Kirinya, you know, as for standing orders, you have 5 minutes and you have consumed 5. So I'll give you more 3. Please condense your argument. Please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, again for your generosity. What I was saying is that our recommendation number 5 has also been given timelines that the deputy governor be reinstated in the office that was designed to befit the stature of the deputy governor within 7 days. And number 6, Honorable Speaker, is that the county assembly has found, according to the report, has found the governor, the CCM finance, and the county secretary, the chief of staff, and the fleet manager in violation of Article 195 of the Constitution, together with sections 18 and 22 of the County Assembly's powers and privileges, and this Honorable House takes the action. And therefore, even the end of the recommendations in this is that the Assembly has been asked to take action that it deems fit. So thank you, Honorable Speaker. Because of time constraint, I second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Kenya Benson. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 54-1, I now propose the question, which is that this Honorable Assembly considers and adopts the report of the Secretarial Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Cohesion on the complete list by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Meru County, to the County Assembly of Meru, against among others is arranged exclusion from County Executive Committee meetings and in facilitation of his office, which report was laid on the table of the Honorable Assembly today, Tuesday, the 17th day of October 2023, during the morning sitting. Any member wishing to make a contribution can catch a speaker's eye. Yes, Honorable Makasi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Makasi is my name, and I represent the amazing people of Nkwene. who sent me to this honorable house. As I stand to support this motion, I thank God for this moment and to be in this honorable house, honorable speaker. I'm a member of the committee and we did a good work. And honorable speaker, at some point, some people almost went into tears when they earned the submissions from the deputy governor. And indeed, not only members from this assembly, honorable speaker, including members of the public who watched live on Meru TV the proceedings of that day when the deputy governor was in this honorable house, honorable speaker, and it was a bad moment. And honorable speaker, we are dealing with the people who cannot comply to the summons of this honorable house, honorable speaker, who are not privy to the articles of governance, articles of the constitution. Honorable speaker, we have invited people to our committee and they declined to attend, giving no reason for that non-attendance. And a letter we received from the deputy governor, the governor, from the chief of staff, indicating that the governor could not attend a summon in this house because she enjoys the immunity of similar to those of the president, honorable speaker, which is not true, honorable speaker. And that was the second time we summoned her. The first time she indicated that she was away with the deputy president. But on the second summon, she took us in circles. And I think the reason is that there's a lot of impunity in this county, honorable speaker, which we must deal with right from now, because nobody can be allowed in this county, honorable speaker, to belittle this honorable house. We have a duty and responsibility, honorable speaker, to protect even the employees of this county, honorable speaker.
Honorable Makas, just a moment. Honorable Kambura. Honorable Grace Kambura. What is bothering you, Honorable Kambura? Okay, then I'll give you an opportunity. Let's allow Honorable Makas to finish, then Honorable Karev Mutevia, then we'll come to you. You can even make contribution from the front here, no problem, Honorable Grace Kambura. If the microphone is not working, you use the one that Honorable Wacheri was using. Is that okay with you? Thank you, Honorable Kambura. Yes, Honorable Makas, please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hope I'll catch the flow because it got distracted a bit, Honorable Kambura. But Honorable Speaker, what I was saying is that we cannot allow the responsibilities and duties of the service bond also to be taken over, to be hijacked by a few people, contrary to the provisions of the law. The county secretary and the chief of staff have actually usurped the powers of the service bond by indulging in even the recruitment. Honorable Speaker, firing of employees attached to the office of the governor is another issue that really took us by surprise, because it's very demeaning, Honorable Speaker, for the deputy governor to be denied access to the of staff to the extent of even being denied fuel, Honorable Speaker, and is supposed to run around and the duties that he must be doing as the deputy governor, but he cannot perform, Honorable Speaker. And I'm aware, Honorable Speaker, some members of the public have heard them discuss and say they've been, the deputy governor reached out to them for some money so that they could even fuel the car to move around. So the service board, Honorable Speaker, the county secretary, the public service board, Honorable Speaker, has been taken over. And when we invited them, they highlighted that they are not aware, they are not privy to most of the happenings regarding employment and sacking. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to take a lot of time, but also I've gone through the annexures of the WhatsApp group or something, and what I'm seeing, Honorable Speaker, is baffling, because the deputy governor is being bashed on that page, left, right, and center. And at some one of the pages, if I can read, Honorable Speaker, It says, Ujinga, sponsored by the DG, I'm using last warning and don't entertain useless threats. My 15 years in politics have never been such childishness and ukumbavu. Walinipea 6K, the entire constituency, and in kitu yake I was last. Anaongea nini sasa? You want to eat what you never learned for. It's a curse. Honorable Speaker, is baffling, and the way he has been even belittled in those pages is inhuman, and nobody deserves such.
Honorable Makasi, casting the other.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The other is the Governor Mwangaza, who is indicating how many votes she got from the constituency where the deputy governor hails from. And once you are elected Honorable Speaker, you serve those who voted for you and those who didn't vote for you. So, bearing in mind this is a page where there are junior officers, junior than the deputy governor, it's a page where they are in. It's also very demeaning to write such things in such a page. So, with the few remarks, those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion and call upon the other members to do support. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Makasi, thank you. Honorable Caleb.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, yes, my name is Caleb Mutedia Kebuko, representing the great people of municipality, and I like to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, you'll allow me first to thank and appreciate our chair for this committee, this particular committee, where I am a member, for the good job that we've done as a committee. Again, Mr. Speaker, you will allow me, from my profession, I'm an accountant. And if I was asked the status of this county, Mr. Speaker, I would say the balance sheet of Meru leadership is heavy. Because the leader and the person who is at the helm is micromanaging this county like money in a basket or in a parcel. Mr. Speaker, when we have been in this assembly listening to the deputy governor.
Honorable Caleb, be more particular. When you say the leader, who is the leader? Be more particular on the contribution that you are making.
I will be more particular, Mr. Speaker. And when I say the leader, but I mean the governor, who is Kawira Mwangaza. She is micromanaging the county. And as we all know, Mr. Speaker, we all have been given an opportunity to serve. It is an obligation that the people gave us. And when we see how she is treating the office of the governor, Mr. Speaker, it is heartening to us because the deputy governor was given an opportunity as well to serve the people of Meru. Article 179, Mr. Speaker, gives a clear definition of who should attend the meetings, the official meetings. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the deputy governor is a substantive member of the executive meetings. And when we find that he is not accorded that opportunity, Mr. Speaker, it is either the governor does not understand the term substantive or she is ignorant of the same. And because, Mr. Speaker, we as the House, the Land Assembly, we've been given the mandate by the people to rectify mistakes. I think this is the reason why, and it is an opportunity for us to rise to the occasion and bring order to the leadership of this county. So personally, and the powers that have been given the people of municipality, I want to support and also call to order the executive led by the governor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chris Cambra. Then I'll give further directions. Honorable Chris Cambra, use the microphone here.
This one.
No, the one that is in front.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. For the records, I'm Grace Kabula Dranira, nominated by Mbas Party in Meru County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am one of the committee whereby we invited the CEC. Mr. Speaker, sir, who was arrogant. He was not even listening to my heavy chair. When he has came and read what the PA of Deputy Governor Twavingia and his driver, what they said, he said that the Deputy Governor does not even appear in our WhatsApp group. He doesn't appear in the cabinet WhatsApp group. My head chair continued asking him the reason why he is not appearing in both WhatsApp group. He said that he don't know. We better consider asking our governor, who is Kawira Mwangaza. Mr. Speaker, sir, Kawira Mwangaza does not even feel what a mother feels when he or she is approaching in front of her eyes. Mr. Speaker, sir, as a mother, we have to have two hearts, one for humanity and one for arrogance. For humanity, it is not even seen in our governor, who is Kawira Mwangaza. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to support this motion and I ask the whole House to support it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Grace Kambura, for your contribution. Yes, Honorable Mireti, then Honorable Mbiuki, I'll give further instructions from there.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the record, I'm Mireti Julius Elias Kaimbo. I represent the people of Mekidori Ward, and I want to support this discussion because
Honorable Kaimbo, it's not a discussion,
okay.
It's a motion.
Motion.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Be procedural.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support this motion on the issues that have been raised pertaining the welfare of the Deputy Governor of this county. In that, in my judgment, it is ignorance of time and content. Even to think that the Deputy Governor can miss his privileges and rights in this county. Is an officer who has been entitled to these rights and privileges by the Constitution, and even thinking that he does not exist is a slap on his face. So Article 6, Article 10 and 73 have been squandered, have been sliced down and stamped upon, which is very wrong as we sit as one of members. I applaud this committee for coming up strongly to show the world what this office is undergoing. It is barbaric, it is archaic and repugnant to render this office non-existence. The second office in Meru County to act as if it is not there. Therefore, I recommend, as it has been done by my colleagues, that all what this office is entitled be reinstated with immediate effect, so that this county can have some respect, even for those who come in the future. You cannot run a county government like your home. You cannot talk like a lay person to the officers that have been elected by the people of this Meru. So to me, I strongly support, and with immediate effect, as it has been settled in 7 days, everything must be placed in order, and we want to see our second in command, the Deputy Governor, working effectively, efficiently, and discharging his duties for this county, because he is entitled to, and nobody can do otherwise. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mireti Julius. Yes, Honorable Mbiuki Godwin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for according me the opportunity. I'm Godwin Motembe Mbiuki, representing the people of Wigos West. Mr. Speaker, I really shed tears. I don't even recall the last time I shed my tears, but unfortunately, when the deputy governor appeared before this committee, I almost shed my tears. Mr. Speaker, I believe that even those celebrating this regime is like they are not aware of what is happening. There is a lot of impunity undercover, and it is the right time that this one must be exposed for the public consumption, Mr. Speaker. I remember, Mr. Speaker, on 9th of August 2022, the people of Meru went to the ballot and elected Governor Kawira Mwangaza as the governor of this county. At the same time, our deputy Twidinkia was elected as the principal assistant to the governor. Mr. Speaker, the purpose was to have them jointly run the affairs of this county. And Mr. Speaker, we went ahead as the assembly to ensure that there is that smooth running of the county. We allocated the office of the governor 173.4 million to ensure that both the governor and the deputy governor are well facilitated. Mr. Speaker, it is surprising that the office of the deputy governor cannot operate. This is public money. This money does not belong to the governor. Mr. Speaker, I'm expecting that when we have the supplementary, at any given time, we expect some money to be moved from the office of the governor to some other department, because some of this money has not been used simply because the office of the governor, the deputy governor has not been facilitated. So, Mr. Speaker, I stand to support, and this impunity, Mr. Speaker, must end. As you are aware, the 2010 Constitution created two tiers of government. There is the national government, which is made up of the executive, the judiciary, and the parliament. The county government is made up of the assembly and the executive. And our common mandate, Mr. Speaker, is to check the executive. And we will check the governor because we have been empowered by the Constitution. We will check even the staff, Mr. Speaker, and the attempt of the governor and even the members of the executive not to appear before this house or the committee of this house is the impunity of their highest order, and we must deal with it very severely, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, I stand to support the motion, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Motembe Mbiuki. Yes, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And for the purposes of record, I'm Hali Mwenda, MCAG Award, and the Deputy Speaker of this Honorable Assembly. First, Honorable Speaker, I would wish to commend this committee, the Secretarial Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Cohesion, for the work well done. In fact, they've sent a precedent that this Honorable Assembly is working, and it should be respected. Honorable Speaker, on hearing the summations that were made by His Excellency the Deputy Governor, it was really touchy. Most of us who had an opportunity to listen to him were really moved by the issues that he raised in this assembly. And I remember at some point we didn't call upon the CEC. The CEC, that is one Munene, and I did ask him about issues on morality and the level of arrogance that CEC demonstrated to the members of this Honorable Assembly was beyond reproach. In fact, Meru County government is run by a dictator who disregards everything. It's like the whole of this government, it's a family affair. The CECs, the chief officers who we vetted in this Honorable Assembly, most of these members have really handed, who have gone to the executive on their issues concerning their want. the disrespect, the arrogance that these members have gone through, it's quite all-time high in Meru County. And a time has come that we need to fix Meru. And the Sectoral Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs, and Cohesion have really set a precedent. And I would urge other committees of this House, the time has come that we have to fix the problems that we have in Meru. And as I end my submission, Honorable Speaker, I would like to cite Article 195 of our Constitution that says a county assembly or any of its committee has powers to summon any person to appear before it for the purposes of giving evidence Hello, thank you. It's back. Now I'll repeat it again. There is Article 195 of our Constitution that states that a county assembly or any of its committee has the power to summon any person to appear before it for the purposes of giving evidence or providing information. Number two, it states, and this is what I want the Honorable Chairperson for the concerned committee to take into notice, that for the purposes of Clause 1, an assembly has the powers as the High Court. 1, to enforce the attendance of witnesses and examining them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. Number 2, to compel the production of documents. And number 3, to issue a commission or request to examine a witness even abroad. So them that didn't appear as per the summons, Honorable Chairperson, the committee concerned, I think it is in the best interest of this assembly that you enforce all that has been bestowed on you. So with that, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion.
Thank you, Honorable the Deputy Speaker, honorable members. It's already 1. We have another sitting starting at 2:30 p.m. So if you allow me, I'll give every member who want to make a contribution, but please you limit yourself to 2 minutes each, so that we're able to do with. We have 2 other more businesses remaining for this session before we break for the afternoon session. Yes, Honorable Aspora, Honorable Doris, Honorable Arun, in that order, but please restrict yourself in 2 minutes so that I don't find myself cutting you short. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. For purposes of records, I'm Kinya Zipora, specially elected by UDA party, and I rise to support this motion. And today, Honorable Speaker, I'll be very brief. I will not speak much, but I want to say that personally, when I saw the Deputy Governor speaking in one of our local medias, and he said that he has some of the things that have been that have happened to him or have been done to him that he will take to the grave. Personally, I cried that evening, Honorable Speaker, because I did not expect a mother who is making Meru happy in the name of Governor Kawira Mwangaza to make someone carry the healed ends to the grave. And I think, Honorable Speaker, as I support this motion, I want to note or to bring to the attention of members of this House that in the government, in the county government of Meru, it is not only the deputy governor who is suffering. I would want to bring to your attention, honorable members, that the members of the county staff are dying, they are stressed, and they are not able to work because of the impunity that that is being meted on them, all the harassment and many other things that are being meted on them by the county executive as per directed by the governor. And I would want to note or to bring to the attention of this house that the officers that are working under, especially the CECs and the county secretary and the others, are in dire problems. So my recommendation, Honorable Speaker, I would recommend that apart from the recommendations that this committee has given, I would recommend that they also invite the director, human resource, to that committee to shed more light on the problems that the workers in the county government of Meru are going through under this government led by Governor Kawira Mwangaza. Should also maybe...
Honorable Spora,
yes.
no, your suggestion would be amount to changing the report of the committee, and you can only do that with a motion, please.
Well guided, Honorable Speaker.
And you have already taken 3 minutes.
I've taken 3 minutes, but let me just
You are
conclude
a
by
teacher,
saying,
please conclude.
yes, let me just conclude by saying that during the committee has given us a report that the 2 staff that were removed from the payroll by the payroll manager and the like were removed. But I would want to let this house know that when the payroll manager refused to remove these officers from the payroll, was transferred to another place, and also the director was transferred to another place, and then others were appointed, and qualified persons were appointed to act in their places so that they can commit that crime. Honorable Speaker, I support the report and say that and support the recommendations to implement and to the letter. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Spora and Honorable Doris, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. For purposes of record, I'm Doris Kakinkonge, nominated member in the 8th August Assembly by the UDA party. First, Mr. Speaker, I want to commend the committee led by the able chair, Honorable Gacheri Mudhuri, and the vice chair, Honorable Kirenya, for a very good work done. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, it is very tearful that this government of the day, that is the county government of Meru, led by Excellency Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, the people of Meru went on 9th August to vote, and I know that Kawira Mwangaza, being the governor, went around the Meru County and chose His Excellency Reverend Mutuma Twithinkia as a deputy governor. I know there are many professionals, there are many politicians in this county who could be deputy governors, but when Governor Kawira Mwangaza chose Reverend Mutuma Twithinkia, she knew very well Reverend Mutuma will deliver to the people of Meru County. But today, it is the vice versa. I want to remind them that at 195 states clearly, these assemblies, the mandate, and if Governor Kawira Mwangaza does well for Meru, she could really appear before this committee, and the allegations that are deputy governor and submitting to this assembly, then governor could come and state if it is true or wrong. That is what we could judge this governor with. Bearing in mind that she didn't appear before this committee, it means that all what the deputy governor, Reverend Mutuma Twithinkia, accused this government is true 200%. Why? If they knew it is not true, they could come before this committee of justice, legal affairs and cohesion, and say it is not true because of, and produce evidence that the matter is not true. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a house of honor, and it is a house that is guided by the Constitution of Kenya 2010 whereby Article 195 states clearly that the assembly has the mandate to summon and to have any person from the executive side to come before any committee of the House so that they can give evidence, they can give information about what is happening in this county. Also, Mr. Speaker, there was a ruling by the Supreme Court on 7th October 2022 that indicates clearly that the county assembly has the mandate to summon any county officer, even the governor. I think the county government of Meru, the officers, should know this clearly, that this is assembly as that mandate. And it is very long when you can see a junior officer, like the chief of staff, acknowledging fake resignation letters. This one is beyond, it is very long, And I think the chief officer, the chief of staff of this county government, Mr. Getonga, should be dealt with in the law, because it is very long to write and to recommend fake. I can call them fake because according to what was presented in this assembly before the committee by the CEO, the County Public Service Board, they say they have not given any resignation letter. So, Mr. Speaker, I come to support and tell the people of Meru that Meru is not being ended well. We are in a state that people are doing what they think. You sleep today, you wake up tomorrow, you appoint somebody, you appoint somebody with your authority. We are not using, we have our one body that assigns and recruits people, that is the County Public Service Board. But in this county, it seems that we don't have a County Public Service Board because there are people elsewhere who have taken those mandates. I support this motion, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honourable members, if you allow me, we will conclude on this debate and then move on because we have two more businesses to conclude. I think that will be the best that we can. What is it, Honourable Jim?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to make my contribution, but now you have said that we...
Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Jim Muchui, MC for the one and the majority whip in this house. And I want to thank the committee for a good work that they have done, coming up with this very detailed report. And very briefly, Mr. Speaker, I want to state that our constitution and our laws foresaw a situation where there is no provision in law which is said that you should love each other so that you can work together. There is a very clear guidelines on how public officers should relate, even when you don't see eye to eye. And I think this was done so that now, even when people have personal differences in the public offices, the people that are electing them to those offices or the people who have put them there can still receive services from such people. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that a cabinet meeting in this county is not anyone's birthday party or a dowry payment function, so that now you can choose who to invite or who not to invite, when the Constitution sets very clearly and the laws of this land who should be members of that Constitution. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that our county has a serious problem whereby personal differences are spreading all the way to affect the service delivery because of the relationships, and the law clearly puts how people should be able to relate or to work together. Our personal differences, actually, in terms of service delivery, Mr. Speaker, people should only meet where the law allows them to interact. All the other issues of love, hatred, and others should not appear in public service. And I think our governor has a serious problem when it comes to such mixing emotions and the official duties of the. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the committee. They have done a good job, and I recommend that, and I support and recommend that we we adopt this report. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Arun. Thank you, Jim. Mheshimiwa Arun, I'll finish up with you. I'll conclude. Yes, Honorable DMK.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kyogora DMK, MCA for Bogeta West and the Minority Party Whip. I stand to support the motion by the Jailer Committee. And there are 2 points that I've noted from this motion, particularly on the recommendations that the County Assembly finds the Governor and the CEC Finance and the County Secretary and the Chief of Staff and the Fleet to be in violation of the Constitution, and the Assembly to take action on these officers. Mr. Speaker, all these people, the CEC Finance, the County Secretary, the Chief of Staff, the Fleet Manager, and all these other people that have been summoned by this House and failed to honor the summonses, Mr. Speaker, they are being commandeered by the Governor. And the solution is simple. It's for this House to strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. I have seen one of the WhatsApp conversation where the Governor is commenting as follows. He thinks, in reference to the Deputy Governor, he thinks I'm the type of person who can be scared by useless, childish, mannerless, mobilized group of people with threats. Kwanza nitafinya kieleweke. This is someone who was ready to finya the Deputy Governor up to the end, were not for the intervention of this House.
Honorable DMK. Anafinya wapi?
Mr. Speaker, I don't know where the Governor is intending to finya the Deputy Governor, but she knows best where she is planning to finya him. But we saw him crying here, Mr. Speaker, so he was crying like someone who is finured. But I know this House, Mr. Speaker.
I hope you confirmed it was not done.
Mr. Speaker,
did you confirm if it was done or not?
Mr. Speaker, I believe this is to mean that to be oppressed, Mr. Speaker, by the Governor. But Mr. Speaker, I know this House will finya the mfinyanaji. Thank you. I support the motion.
Yes, the Honorable Deputy in the majority, please take the floor. Arun, you know, the Deputy in the majority owns a senior position than he was in this House. Yes.
Thank you.
That's
Mr.
Iraqi Connors, Honorable Mutuma.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
When the majority leader is not in, you are the majority leader.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Patrick Mutuma, a member of County Assembly, representing the people of Kisima and the deputy majority of this House. First, may I take this opportunity to say that we are thankful to the Office of the Speaker, the Office of the Clerk, for the support that they have given this community. Then I thank you, the committee members, for availing themselves, for sacrificing, so that they can do what the people elected them to do. Mr. Speaker, mine is very few. I'm a member of this committee, and I attended all the committee sittings. And Mr. Speaker, when the deputy governor was making his submission, he was crying because of the inhuman activities which has been done to him. And Mr. Speaker, he even made us to cry because of emotions, because of the hill, which have been done to him. Mr. Speaker, and this hill was being done by his juniors, being led by the governor. The governor, Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, who is calling himself a bishop. And Mr. Speaker, I'm very sure you cannot hide under the name of God and do some ill thing to people. One day, God will going to punish you. And one day, God will punish Kawira Mwangaza, how he punished Pastor Kanyari. Mr. Speaker, before I conclude, let me say this. For this House to be respected and to be honored, this House have to do something on the executive officers' house, and they failed to honor the summons. First one is the James Mutia, and the county secretary, that is Kiambi, Fleet Manager, the CCM Finance. Those officers, you have to take the next action so that all the people can be able to respect this house, because Article 195 gives us a mandate to summon each and everyone in this county. Even the CCM legal officer, Mr. Munene, who appeared, seems to know nothing, because when you ask him questions, you all say that I'm not aware, and he seems not to be living in this county. So even these house have to do something on this person. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want to say, even when you summoned the governor, he did not appear, and there was a letter which was written by Chief of Staff, Nchamba Mbede, and according to me, according to the law, Nchamba Mbede, or the one called Harrison Gatabu, I can say he is not eligible, he has no right to read to any letter to this house. The person who is supposed to write a letter is the county secretary, Kiambadero. So I don't know who is Nchamba Mbede to write a letter to this house. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, this report is enough to impeach even the governor. When you go to Article 75 of Constitution, it states the characters of a public office owner. And I am very sure the governor himself have already contravened this article, and this article and this report is enough to impeach this governor, and I'm very sure that we are going to impeach her. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mutuma. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you,
Bantai.
Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, at least to give my point on this motion, Honorable Speaker, by the powers, the sovereign power that I was given by the people of Avogeta East to express their interests in this house. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion for the fact that, Honorable Speaker, from the proceedings that have been happening in this house, and the guys, the members from the executive who are invited in this house to shed light on what is happening in the Meru County Assembly, or Meru in general, Honorable Speaker, we have extracted from their dealings, from their investigations, and Mr. Speaker, you bear with me that whatever that has been happening in Meru County, it is not the right thing, Honorable Speaker. One, when we took the oath of office to defend the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, we can see these members, these honorable members that we passed from this honorable house, Honorable Speaker, they are defying the orders issued to them by us, who happens to be having powers equivalent to that of the High Court, Honorable Speaker, and for us to bring sanity in this county, in this Meru County, Honorable Speaker, the recommendations that have been done by the Justice and Legal Affairs, Honorable Speaker, they are supposed to be effected. And Honorable Speaker, from the official communication WhatsApp groups that I've seen, one, the one that is named County Admin Services, and the other one named the Land Government 012, Honorable Speaker, whatever the contents of those two WhatsApp groups, Honorable Speaker, they are intimidatory, because, Honorable Speaker, I've seen quite a number of messages that have been written in those communication, Honorable Speaker, trying to coerce the Deputy Governor to come straight and put things straight, while they know that, Honorable Speaker, it is not the right thing. Everyone in this house or in this Republic of Kenya has his or a constitutional right to defend. And, Honorable Speaker, according to me, our Deputy Governor being denied his rights, where, and it's an constitutional office which has voted, denying a Deputy Governor to attend a meeting meant for the Deputy Governors of this county, Honorable Speaker, and ours does not represent the people of Meru, Honorable Speaker. I feel it is not right, and that is why I support this in totality, Honorable Speaker, because we cannot watch or sit and see our coffers, the Meru people's money, being used the wrong way because if it's meant to facilitate these offices, Honorable Speaker, it is the right of them because they were also elected in the same position and they are expected to be catered for. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. Arun, now I believe you are satisfied. Yes, Honorable Tururu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And my name is Patrick Adoriman Tururu, representing the great people of Timor West. And Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the motion and the recommendation of the committee, Mr. Speaker. And mine being a few words, Mr. Speaker, from the extract that I've also been able to see in one of the WhatsApp groups, Mr. Speaker, I can see the governor rather saying that, quoting the Bible, that the Bible says that lazy people should not eat and so, and be denied all benefits. And Mr. Speaker, you wonder, did the governor add or rather have a measure of the laziness that probably in a submission that she was referring to the deputy governor?
Please, Honorable Tururu, conclude your remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
And I think it's that time this House, Mr. Speaker, do bite on the culprits and make sure we regain the sanity. And for this matter, Mr. Speaker, I support the report, the motion.
Honourable members, we have a very, very important a matter that is on the amendment of the second session of the Assembly calendar, which you need to dispose and very fast. So at this juncture, I'll allow the mover to take the floor and reply. Please, mover.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. First, let me begin by appreciating the members who have really positively supported the motion. And Mr. Speaker, I will really call upon the executive to be able to implement the recommendations of the committee once it is adopted by this House starting today. Further, to which, Mr. Speaker, we'll also be calling upon the implementation committee to be able to see that this is implemented to the letter. Thank you so much. I support and I appreciate all the members. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gacheri, Modern Muturi, honorable members. Pursuant to the provisions of standing on number 54.2, I now pose the question, which is that this Honorable Assembly considers and adopt the report of the Secretarial Committee on Justice, Equal Affairs and Cohesion on the complaints of His Excellency the Deputy Governor, Meru County, to the County Assembly of Meru, against, among others, is arranged exclusion from County Executive Committee meeting and facilitation of his office, which report was read on the table of the Honorable Assembly today, Tuesday, the 17th day of October 2023, during the morning sitting. Will as many of our similar opinions say aye? Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it and the motion is passed. Clerk, can we take the next order?
Order number 9.